It is Tuesday, my dudes.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're listening to the Ironworks on TFR. Break clear of the fear.
Ding, ding, ding. Good morning. Ding, ding, ding. Ba, 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 bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, ba, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, ba, bow, ba, 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 bow. Beautiful day. Ba, 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 bow. It's a beautiful day. Ding, ding, ding.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworks with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
Good morning, Truth Frequency Radio. You have managed to make it here once again to the Ironworks. My name is Josh Corey, and as you may have guessed, I am joined this morning by two very good friends and co-hosts. Starting off with one Mr. Walter Johnson. You may know him as Flat Earth Head here on YouTube. Walter, how the hell are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Josh. Good morning, TFR. Good morning, Zach. I know you're here. We're doing all right over here in Louisiana, I suppose. We had a little cool weather, so that helped things. I've been searching the plane for tie-dye dye, which apparently is the new thing again, because everybody's in their house and has nothing to do, so they all decided to color their shirts and various other articles, because literally even one of the biggest tie-dye dye companies out there right now, and when you go to their website, which they're a clearinghouse for not just their own dyes they make, but for all kinds of textile and you name a dye type, acid dyeing, acid washing, anything like that, they've got it there. Except for tie-dye material. Right now, they're like every third color says, yeah, this one won't be back till mid-July. This one won't be back till August. This one will never be back because apparently we broke a certain blue color in tie-dye world. So now this color no longer exists on Earth, and they can't make that color any longer. I don't know what that is. I can't remember. Cerulean, I think. I think that's it. Anyway, yeah. So that's what I've been up to this week, is hunting dyes. Found some. I'll be tying later when I get off the show. I'm excited. Boy, when you see me, I'm colorful. If it doesn't brighten up your day, then I don't know what will. All right, I'll shut up. Hi, Zach. How are you, my friend?
How are you, Zach? Well, let me say hello to our
guys.
There he is.
Very
Had my hands full a little bit there. You ended a little quicker than I thought you would. Well, no, things are going good. Got up to the mountains yesterday finally. Oh, it was gorgeous. I did not want to leave. Yeah, everything's open up there. There was probably at least 7 different campsites full of people, so we're going to be heading up there here real shortly. It was crazy. It's like 90 degrees down in Denver, and then you get up there and it's like 65, 70, somewhere around there. Just like perfect. Nice in the sun, a little chilly in the shade. Just perfect camping weather. So yeah, I'm excited. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock last night. I don't know if it was all the fresh air or what, but I was out.
That's their circadian rhythm trying to get back into check.
That's it.
Oh, look, the sun's down and it's dark.
Yeah.
I'll get back into it.
Well,
That is how it should
So
be.
how was your
How are
camping
you?
trip there, Josh?
Right.
Josh
I
went
saw
camping. over
photos.
the
There were some
weekend.
amazing spots, friend. Man, I was digging it.
oh yeah, my camping trip was good. It was much needed, months and months past due, and wasn't really long enough. I probably need at least a week living in the dirt to fully reset and feel human again. Funny how that works. But no, it was really good. This just hanging out with my boy. He's 19, and it's been a couple of years since we managed to get out in the woods, so it was real nice to sit around the fire and just chit-chat with him for a couple of days. Yeah, scared everybody down there, my family, because my wife needed a COVID test last week, and she's still not gotten the results. So they were a little freaked out because they were planning a trip and all that good stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We're expecting probably today to get the results. She doesn't think it's COVID. Nobody else in the house is sick. So nobody's really that worried except my dad. But Zach, you are camping in Denver, and here it is just 5 minutes into the show, and it seems we've got a caller from Denver as well. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Ironworks. Thanks for calling first thing in the morning.
It is so early. Hi, guys.
Well,
Hey,
is
how
this
we doing?
Mark Sargent?
It is Mark Sargent.
How awesome. Congratulations. Good morning. That is, wow. I'm not even sure what to say. I'm flabbergasted. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning indeed, sir. Welcome to the call.
Hey.
So what in the world have you been up to, Mr. Sargent?
I've been trying to stay calm during this madness that has been thrust upon us since January of 2020, and I am not doing a great job at it. It's amazing. In fact, I'm doing another rant tomorrow night. Well, I'm sorry, tonight, and which is going to be about. Just about how America is getting singled out. We're being targeted compared to all the other nations. You know, we're the big goal here as far as what, you know, the New World Order and what they're trying to accomplish.
Well, they do say we are the last bastion of freedom.
Yeah, the last castle nation state. We're we're the ones that couldn't get along. You know, we go against everything. I mean, people forget. You know, I'm older, and people forget that we wouldn't even adopt the metric system when that came down the line back in the late 70s.
What show did I just watch? And that was one of the jokes where some teacher was going off to learn the metric system in the 70s. It was funny. Oh man, I don't know, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We were not the ones to get
No, I was in sixth grade when it happened, and I remember they were coming along with like, because everything you were trying to memorize all these new stuff, centimeter and decimeter and all this stuff, and it just seemed so boring, and it did not resonate with anyone. And so part of my rant is like, no, the inch, the yard, the mile, the pound. That's what we prefer. That's steep.
Right. We had too much Tartaria, I guess, still left in us over here in North America. Weren't they the ones with the 12 fingers? Isn't that where our whole 12-digit system comes from the 12-fingered giants?
Something like that. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. So we don't do anything well, and so I think they figured out that it's like the only way we're going to be, conventional means are not going to do anything over here. So let's just create financial chaos and then create division in just about every area you can think of, be it gender or race or class or you name it. That's what they did. And I don't know what you guys, have been going off on, for the last few months, but it's worked extremely well. Mm-hmm. Extremely well.
Oh yeah, for as
so
obvious
now,
as it is to us, yeah, it's working. I never thought they could get away with doing something like this, but yeah, they're pulling it off. It's crazy.
Well, it kind of the thing they figured out, and this part was absolutely brilliant, was that they used our most powerful weapon against us. Kind of like judo. You know, in judo, you use the guy's size against himself, all the momentum. And they used our media. That was the big one, which was they figured out, it's like, wait a minute, we're going about this all wrong. All you have to do is get a hold of their media through however means you're going to do it, whether control their producers or the studio execs at the top. And people will absolutely believe everything that they tell them that's on television, because there's no alternative. There is no alternative network. I mean, give credit to Fox where it can, but there is no independent network out there. I mean, yeah, you've got the internet, but that's really it. And so and it was a joke I was throwing out there to people. I know you guys have been talking about the virus a lot, which is, you know, people go on, you know, that only in America. I mean, it was so brilliant in the first 5 weeks that we were doing this thing. They were going out of their way. You remember the Surgeon General, the gay black man that came out and was saying absolutely, positively, do not buy masks. Stop buying masks, right? And then they you don't see him anymore, right? He's gone. You don't talk. He doesn't talk anymore. Then all of a sudden they flip and they say, no. Everybody wear masks except for the president. He's not going to wear masks. They, oh no, I'm not wearing them, right? But you know, it's a good idea. It's tremendous. It's phenomenal. You should do it. And he doesn't. And then my joke was, okay, you could start, like today's Tuesday. You could say starting Friday, everyone should start wearing blue polka dot masks, right? Blue polka dot fabric. And I guarantee you on Friday, you would see this run on blue polka dot fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Even though there'd be no medical backing behind it whatsoever. And that's what they're going to continue doing from now until, at least November. And then after November, we'll have to see what fresh hell is thrust upon us there.
Right. Well, what's hilarious, there's so many people that I've worked with over the years, because I used to work in a lot of industrial settings, refineries, things like that. And OSHA is all over masks. They don't let you wear them over a certain length of time. They'll shut down a whole job site, not just your little area of the job. They'll shut down the whole turnaround if one person stays in their mask too long. And I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I'd have to dig it up now, but somebody on one of my feeds finally put out that he was OSHA certified and started talking about the reality behind this stuff. I mean, all the people in the medical field should know all this and how it really works. And yeah, it's just ridiculous that the people who know this stuff and should be talking to the people around them and saying, hey, this is not how it works. My sister, a respiratory therapist, and yet she's outside trying to gather up as many masks as she can to pass out to her employees. And it's like, oh, really? In your years of training, you don't remember how carbon dioxide affected your system? And it's really bad out there.
Yeah. And the peer pressure, that's what really, again, we can talk to this further if you want, because the next week, tomorrow's rant is just about how basically I'm reminiscing about, how much I'm going to miss America, because it's whatever's going to happen. By December, this place isn't going to look like it does now.
Nope.
There's going to be a lot of weirdness happening. But next week, I'm going to really kind of go over the what I call the plan. I think the rant's going to be called When a Plan Comes Together, which is the second part of the famous A-Team line. I love it when a plan comes together, and that's where we're. But I want to ask you guys, because I'm curious before I even get into that. Forgive me, I don't know if you've covered it much in the last three months or so, and that is, do you have any sort of election predictions and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. We haven't really covered it. I'm sort of.
Well, you probably should. There's less than 4 months now.
I'm so anti-election and anti-elected officials.
Anti-play their games, right?
Yeah, but okay. Let me set the frame for you then, because whatever happens now, whatever happens in 4 months, because of things that have happened now, it's not going to be pretty, no matter what it is. So, give you a quick example, because I've never really voted in my life, because I just don't believe in the whole. At a federal level, I think it's a wasted vote. Kang or Kodas, either way, they're both aliens. They're controlled at the highest levels. Your vote means nothing. But what am I I was thinking about this the other day. I was going, what am I most worried about? If Trump wins, or if he loses, or if he actually wins? Because if he loses, well, then you got Biden in there. Then he of course is going to just talk about he literally he'll be a figurehead puppet, and they'll just be able to do anything they want. He will literally endorse the most ridiculous things, and no one's gonna question him. But if Trump wins, now they will march on the White House. I think that barrier, I don't know if you guys were keeping score, they erected this wall around the White House as the BLM protests were happening. And it was a substantial wall. I don't know where they got it, but it was like, steel things. No one's going through those things. And they implement around the White House. And I guarantee you those things will be put in there the night of the election or the day before if they're going to try to be careful about it. Because both sides have said, if I lose, Biden said this and Trump said this, if I lose, then somebody was cheating, which we've never seen before in the history of elections. Like, really? Both you guys are going to call it a fixed fight before you're even in the ring? How does that even happen? But if it does, but they will, guarantee the left will absolutely march on the White House if Trump wins. You guys remember, what happened. For those out there that don't know what I'm talking about, did you guys ever watch the first 7 minutes, the opening sequence of Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 11/9? Did you guys ever see that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched it
once upon a time.
Okay. Okay. So the opening 7 minutes of 11/9 was basically every media outlet and Republican and Democrat saying that Trump is they just howled. They just laughed. It's like, yeah, Trump, president, come on. Never, ever going to happen. Even he didn't even write a victory speech that night. It wasn't phenomenal or tremendous. And he won. And everyone went freaking ape. So what happens now after hating him for 4 years? What happens to Washington, D.C. if he actually wins again? And I think it'll make the BLM stuff seem like a crayon coloring party by comparison. So,
well, that said, then a fake pandemic for use of mail-in voting to generate a bunch of fraud or the appearance of fraud for both sides to argue about makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And it's going to be just so psychotic that that night, because everyone's going to be so amped up. Never going to, I just don't know if we've ever seen an election like that where it's so, like you guys were talking about earlier, it's so polarized out there. It is so freaking
bigger than when
polarized out
Obama.
there. It's not like the old. Oh yeah, way worse than when Obama was out there. I mean, the left absolutely hates the right, and the right despises the left. And if they didn't before this year, they absolutely do now, because. And I don't even know if Antifa, the true Antifa, is real or if it's just a plant. If it's just a staged thing, because people are telling me, oh yeah, it's the alt left, it's the extreme left. I'm going. So what if the extreme left? What are they going to do? Annoy you to death? They don't carry guns. That's the whole point of the left.
That's their deal, right?
They don't do any of that stuff. So it's like, and so when I saw these, now there's anarchists out there, sure. Some Joker wannabes. It's like everything burns. It's like I get those guys. But they could be on either side, to be honest. I mean, if the right was out there, they'd be with the right. And that's the only reason they're not out there with the right is because the right's, remember, the right was protesting this stuff in the beginning. Mm-hmm. They were doing the whole, anti-mask stuff. So anyway, sorry, I ramble.
No, ramble away. That's good stuff. I really hadn't considered it, but I guess that's true. In my brain, there's always this risk, because people are just so fanatical in their Stockholm syndrome that I expect every election people to storm the White House until at some point 75% of the people aren't voting, and you only have the 25% voting for the maniacs in the White House, and the other 75%, then they finally storm. But yeah,
right.
I don't know.
It's the first election where I can absolutely say that either way it goes, there's going to be a massive negative backlash. You know, the right. I feel bad for the right if Biden wins, because then they won't even have a voice, which will be sad. But
well, see, I guess I felt this way back after 9/11 happened, and I was a lot more influenced by my musical heroes, I guess. At a concert, Maynard suggested we all go to vote, even if we never had before, to get old W. Jr. out of the White House before he, took another building down or put us in war or whatever. So we all did our little metalhead duty and went and registered. We all went and voted that year to then watch the election be stolen in Florida with their little old punches. So, I mean, at that point, if anything had not proven to me that it was all a fucking game and a bunch of bull, then that pretty much did it for me. And that was my last attempt at influencing elections. But now, I see them building the same idea again, is the enemy is in the White House. We have to get him out, which was the thinking at the time when Baby Bush was there. So, nothing new under the sun, but they've definitely taken it to a freaking extreme this time.
Which, by the way, that's a good point you brought up, which is, and I thought about this a while back, but now I'm wondering, because I firmly believe, the winner is picked a long time beforehand, unless they just control both candidates and they leave the election up to.
Right, because hell, we all saw Hillary walking down the path with Rockefeller and thought she was a shoe-in. So I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Everyone thought, hell, she had an 85% chance that night. That's why the beginning of the Michael Moore movie was so brilliant, where at the, when Trump's face was put on the Empire State Building that night, and Michael Moore, his opening line was, "How the fuck did this happen?" And there was no way. There was no way it was going to happen. But what I was kind of curious about was, will the media try to call it? So that's when I think you'll know that it's not rigged into the last minute. Meaning, what if it's a horse race, which it shouldn't be? Even though CNN and ABC and NBC, they're all saying, "Oh no, Trump's going to lose by double digits." And what if it comes down to like one or two states, and then just at the last minute, let's just pick on CNN. We'll pick on Florida again. They call Florida blue. But Fox calls them red. Well, then what do you do? Then if it's too close to call, and then you've got this weird dispute, well, then the election, carries on it goes into overtime for an extra week, and they hammer on each other for a while. I'm just not sure what you do in that case. And like Biden was saying, by the way, I know we're coming up on the break here in a minute, which is, what about Biden when he said this like a month ago, he goes, "Well, if I win, I fully expect the military to remove Trump by force." It's like, okay, you're making a couple of huge assumptions there. One, that you're going to win. You're making this really, really early. You haven't even picked your running mate yet. And two, you're thinking, well, okay, why would Trump stay in there? Well, the only reason he'd stay in there is because he was disputing the election itself. And will he? Well, he only will if it's really, really close. If it's a blowout, well, he can't, right? I'm not sure. So,
So yeah, we've got a couple of minutes.
One thing for sure, we know they're going to make a big spectacle out of it. Sure.
Oh God, yeah, it'll be ratings galore, huge ratings. Oh, because there's nothing else happening. I don't get how they're not freaking out. It's like, look, not only can you not go to any games whatsoever, or rock concerts, or God, a lot of places you can't, or even Disneyland, I think, still closed. But you can't even go to church. That's the part that threw me. Was that all the churches didn't even protest that quickly. It's like, what you guys are treating it like it's a snow day. Do you realize what's happening? By the time you figure this out, congregations are going to be decimated.
Yeah, this is beyond
not going to.
when it comes to churches. I mean, this has never happened in the history ever, has it? That people
never in the
can't go to church.
Yeah.
Or if you do, you're not allowed to sing. No more singing in church in some places, which kind of boggles my mind, but there you go.
Yeah, well, there's a church up here on the island. That was one of the things. Now they finally implemented it, but you have to wear a mask when singing. But yeah, in California, seriously, but in California they're banning singing. So, let's do this. If you don't mind, I want to get my. I know we got to go to break, but after break, can I get my big 3 things that are my predictions of what's gonna happen?
Heck yeah.
You absolutely can, Mark. And at some point, I have a question for you from chat. We're going to get to. I've got it highlighted there, and seems like there was something else I wanted to ask you, but I guess we will get to all that here in a few seconds after the break, which is fastly approaching us. I hope I'm correct on my time. I see about 6 seconds before we should be hearing some break music. I've got my clock correct.
I think we've got it now. I'm looking at about 8 seconds before we go ahead and hit the break.
Yes, I fixed my issues. Thank you very much. Well, then we will shut our mouths and pay a few bills, and we will get back here talking with Mr. Mark Sargent, fellow TFR alum right here.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iAlife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iAlife.com, AYA-life.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
We are TFR.
My faith in destiny is all I need to prevail.
Truth Frequency Radio.
iron you need to get what you want.
And welcome back to the Ironworks second segment. Just Josh, Zach, and Walt hanging out, getting a chance to chit-chat a little bit with Mr. Mark Sargent. Going over some of the potential craziness and the situation that they've created for us to deal with now. But Mark, you said you had 3 things that you were sort of looking at to coming down the pike.
I did. Did you? By the way, but I don't want to leave out. What was the question you had for me, or was it a fluffy question?
Let me go back and find it here.
It wasn't a terribly fluffy question, as I recall. It was just the opposite.
No, it was quite a heavy question and might get you sidetracked.
Oh, was it? Well, you should
holding on to it. You want to wait?
That's right. While you're looking for it really fast.
Go ahead.
There was 2 things that I really loved, and I sent you guys some clips through your guy that had been buzzing me on email, which is one was, did you guys happen to see the Los Angeles fireworks?
I did not.
Oh my God, it was so great. Because they banned all fireworks, all these big shows. Not only did they ban church services, they were basically trying to kill the 4th of July, and as me, I used to make illegal fireworks myself and manufacture them and sell them to the Native American reservations, otherwise known as Casino Americans. And what happened was, in Los Angeles, they just started. They were waiting. So nobody went to any parks. They just freaking lit them off in their yards. And at some point, it went on for hours, and the news helicopters started flying over the city, and I've never seen anything like it. The city was just aglow in every block. There were so many fireworks going off. It looked like the city was in the middle of a war zone. It was so awesome. And so I sent some clips. In fact, I don't even know. Am I on with one of you guys in Skype or not?
There's a really good chance. Let me check my contacts. I think so.
I was about to say, you probably are on one of the times you've been with us before, and we just had you still hanging out there.
Message me in Skype, and I'll drop them in. I emailed them to you guys as well, but the clip from it's like not even 15 seconds, I don't think, from the news footage is absolutely awesome. But part of my rant that I was going to do, and I'm going to use it as the intro to my show tomorrow. Not for TFR, but the YouTube version. Oh, there you are. Right, that's you. Perfect. Here, I'll dump them in there. Let's see how good my bandwidth truly is.
I love it.
You're going to like this. So hang on. Hopefully, if I'm uploading video, will my audio get screwed up? Probably not. I've got killer bandwidth right now. So the first one I sent is the Los Angeles news thing. But the second one, this is what I love about America, which is why I will miss it so much. So only in America would this happen. There's this guy, you know how you have redneck fireworks where you just go out to some park and do all sorts of nutty things with fireworks. This guy created these braces for his arms and completely encircled them in Roman candles. He basically turned his arms into firework Gatling guns. And he wore, I don't know, a cape that looked like the Stars and Stripes and a hockey mask. And he just was going to town. And he could not have, it was great footage, and he could not have been happier about it. And I go, there's America right there. Who knows how drunk he was? He didn't hurt anybody, and the thing didn't malfunction. That was the most amazing part. I thought he was going to set himself on fire. And he didn't. It worked perfectly. It's like, wow.
I spent more than one 4th of July or New Year's Eve with a throbbing hand where a Roman candle decided it would go off rather than shoot out. So, yeah, he's lucky.
Oh, yeah.
It's too often.
Well, yeah, if you watch this, it is stunning how, what this guy was doing. It's like, yeah, you don't see that in any other countries. We are, which is, why I'm reminiscing tomorrow about America. It's like, we are dumb and dangerous. We are creative and stupid. We do. It's like, here, this seems like a great idea. Yeah, I know I've had half a fifth of Jack Daniels, but it still seems like a great idea.
Hold my beer, right?
Yeah, hold my beer. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, so did you find your question?
Yes, I do. And this is from our buddy Daz, who is apparently never going to be on the show with us. I'm just messing with Daz. It's a running joke. Daz wants to know, Mark, and this is his tough question for you. Would you be able to turn down an offer of material stuff for a slippery slope, mellowing yourself out, kind of like Ice-T going from a scary rap singer in Body Count to a TV cop, etc., that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Obviously, that hasn't happened, or you wouldn't be here hanging out with us. But what would would it take to get you to take the deal? Or has that already been turned down?
That was so weird. Yeah, that you would ask me that, because there was a guy on an interview I did maybe a month ago where he asked me, he said, would you take $100 million and okay, it was a weird question because it had to be tied to the virus. He goes, would you take $100 million and renounce flat Earth, or would you something along the lines of cure the virus? If you had a cure, you would cure the virus.
Oh, wow.
And it was a trick question. I go,
that wrinkle in there, right?
Yeah, and I go, well, that's a terrible question to ask me because I don't believe in the virus in the first place. So I go, no, what would I be curing? I go, I'd absolutely take the money, but it wasn't about renouncing the flat Earth. It was curing. It's something about curing the virus. Anyway, no, there's nothing that anyone could do to me to have leverage against me, which is why I give Joe Rogan so much crap. Because they got to him. He had a family.
Oh, they did, my friend. Yes, they did.
Yeah, absolutely got to him. And hell, Alex Jones was one of the first people to say that. He said on air where he said, "No, yeah, they got to Joe, and they offer you the carrot and the stick simultaneously. They say take the carrot, and we'll give you a show on Sci-Fi, and then we'll give you apparently the biggest podcast in the country." But you have to renounce what you said badly about us. I think, by the way, it's funny that he got that massive contract to leave YouTube and go to Spotify. Massive contract. Upwards of 12 figures. I don't know if it was actually 12 figures, but it was huge. And then the country goes into a place where he can't even spend it. Fine, you get tens of millions of dollars. Where are you going to go?
Have fun on Amazon.
You can't even. Sorry, go ahead.
Just have fun on Amazon.
Yeah, that was basically exactly. Yeah, even if you bought a Gulfstream, what are you going to do with it? You're going to fly to Europe? They're not going to let you get out of the plane. Let's segue into. I'm sorry. Was there any other questions?
Yeah, I have one real quick. You started off this morning.
What?
Just trying to figure out how to deal with all the fear tactics that's going on out there. How is it that you are staying sane? What is it that you're doing to keep you grounded and not get caught up in the whirlwind that is going on around us?
Are you tie-dyeing, Mark?
Am I what?
I made a joke earlier in the show. I've been tie-dyeing while I've been under lockdown here, and it seems like everyone in America has as well, because you can't find tie-dyes right now. So that's what I said. Have you been tie-dyeing, Mark?
No. I've been the only thing that's keeping me sane, and it's tough to do, is I keep looking at the end game, the big picture. I'm trying to look down the road and say, okay, what does this morph into? And I've come to the not so great conclusion. I know it's late, and I know guys that are up this late are usually dark and sinister anyway. Like Heath Ledger's Batman, everyone's like, oh, it's so grim. Which is do any of you guys play chess?
Not well.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Well, all right. Well, I mean, everybody kind of knows chess, but you've seen arrogant players. What they'll do is they'll say, oh yeah, I've got him in 5 moves. I've got him in 6 moves. Where basically what they're saying there when they do that is that the moves that I'm going to make, they can only respond one way. And so the outcome is only going to be this. It's like programming, if then go to. And what I've basically come to the conclusion is the New World Order has us in about 3 moves now. And there's little that we can do to stop it. The only thing that anyone really can hope for in our circles is just kind of ride it out and hope that your environment is somewhat stable. That you can basically figure out what you're going to do. I don't have any answers, but they kind of go something like this. So we're in that stage now. Where the peer pressure has mounted and everyone's wearing masks, but it's mostly an inconvenience. There's a whole bunch of people that are wearing masks because they absolutely believe it. They believe it stops some of the health risks. But as you know, I'm sure you guys have talked about it, it's just a symbol of compliance. That's all it is. And when you reached that certain point, everyone started wearing masks. Kind of like when everyone started wearing Levi 501 jeans or straight jeans in school. Once you got a certain number of the cool kids to wear them, everyone was wearing them. And that's because you don't want to be outside of the crowd. So there's a whole bunch of people wearing masks now that are just wearing them because they don't want to be hassled. They don't want to stick out. They don't want to all of a sudden be that person you see on the video that's being shamed in the store, even though I've not seen that personally. I'm sure it happens, but I have not seen it. So what's going to happen? And as you know, the whole fake rolling back to states. It's like, oh, no, Texas is spiking and California is spiking and Florida and all the, for no apparent reason. And then you guys know all the stories, about, people that have sent in tests that there was nothing on the swabs and they tested positive, or they're counting contact tracing as positive. So if you rat out 10 of your friends,
testing positive, right, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or even the worst ones where they're testing. There was a wonderful thing that was on. I'm even going back to freaking Godlike Productions forums to read stuff now. And I haven't gone back to there in years, which is that even if you're probable, you're considered an actual case. So even if you have like just a couple symptoms, you don't even have to test you now. They can say, oh, he's got a cough. Well, he's now probable, and probable means you have it. And it's like, wait, what? How is that happening? So anyway, three things you're going to see, and I'm kind of warming up for my thing next week with you guys. So three things that are going to happen. It's a three-move process. The first one is going to be that the companies that you've seen glimmers of this recently, the companies that are working on the vaccine, that's going to start turning into a horse race, where this company's close, this company's close, and because of all the competition, it's going to be 99% effective, something along those lines. Well, the truth is, it's going to be a placebo. In fact, it might even be less than the saline solution because they are not going to take any chances with any sort of side effects. Yeah, there might be some psychosomatic side effects where some people, but that happens with a placebo anyway. Some people, can take a sugar pill and break out in hives, and we still can't explain it to this day other than mind over matter. So that's the first thing, where they're going to be talking about the vaccine, and it's going to be your savior. It's absolutely going to be, the vaccine is going to be a cure-all, and it's going to be the loophole that all the legal people are looking for. The second thing, which is going to be right on the back of that, is going to be the corporations are going to be backing it. So it's going to be the reverse of what happened when we locked everything down. I mean, so you saw how fast, like, Disney closed, and the NBA closed, and all these other places they closed because of legal reasons, or directorate from on high. But they blamed it on the legal side because all your corporate lawyers, they say that it could be exposed to a class action suit, so we're not going to take the chance. I mean, it was amazing how fast the NBA closed before almost any company in the United States. The entire NBA is stunning. But that'll be the reverse. So everyone will say the same thing. They're going to say, with the vaccine, we'll be able to open. And all of a sudden, they'll start creating this wave of, oh, yeah, but they'll dangle this in front of you. It won't even be a carrot. It'll be this giant, shiny piñata of, your life back. And that is, all you have to do is take the vaccine, and all the things you've missed for the last 6 months, you'll get your life back. And you're thinking, well, no, you won't go for it, and this person won't go for it. Well, a lot of people will, though. The majority will. 60%, 70% right off the bat will. Almost all the Democrats and some of the Republicans will, because they're tired of it. They'll be like, wait, I get to go to an NFL game this year? All I have to do is, hell yeah, I'm going. I get to go to my Travis Tritt concert, and and all this other stuff, you will, it'll be so shiny and wonderful. And the news, of course, the media will be behind it as well. So between the corporations and the media, you won't even be able to object that much because they will give you an alternative, which brings you to the third move, which is the authentication process. Because, okay, fine, a vaccine comes out and they say life will return to normal. And you say, well, and I'm abbreviating some of this stuff. Right? Usually this thing takes longer to explain. But if you return to normal, what's to stop you from faking it? And you know where this is going, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if getting the vaccine means I take my mask off, well, how do I know? How do I know, this person's got the vaccine and this person? Well, you've got to identify them somehow. Now, you could say, card carrying member type thing or bracelet or whatever. No, I mean, we've got the technology. We've had the technology for years. Some sort of invisible ink tattoo / chip, whatever. I'm trying to come up with different names because they're going to make the whole process sound really, really safe. I came up with names like VacSafe, Verivac, stuff like that. Something that makes it sound like it's completely benign.
How about this? How about a certificate? A certificate of vaccination identification, a COVID.
Yes. There you go. Although I don't know if they're going to use COVID because you can use this. Once you get this, it can be updated for any vaccine, which is even better. If you do this, but you think, oh, that's discriminatory. You can't stop people from doing things, if they don't want to get the vaccine. You're absolutely right, and this is where the brilliance of it comes in, which is you know what the alternative is. It's like, fine, you don't want to get the vaccine, you have to wear the mask, and all of a sudden, all those people, the good guys supposedly that have been wearing masks, that sign of virtue, all of a sudden become the villains. Because now the minority of people will be wearing masks. And you're saying, well, no, I'm not going to wear the mask either. It's like, oh, okay, good luck. Because now once the vaccine, the authentication process is in place, you won't be able to do things. I mean, yeah, you could walk into you could walk the streets without a mask. No one's going to know. But good luck with goods and services without some sort of mask thing involved. And, not to say that they would have, police walking around with phones that could immediately tell if you were chipped or not, or whatever designator they have. I mean, they may even decide just to put it on your phone. I doubt it, but you never know, because not everybody carries phones. I mean, most people do. But that's the brilliance of it, which is all of a sudden you now the people that are objectionable to the whole vaccine, they stick out like sore thumbs because they have to wear a mask. And I guarantee and you say, well, no, it goes against rights and civil liberties and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but the thing is, people want to get back to normalcy so quickly that the corporations will jump on it. It'll make your head spin how fast they go on board. Well, who are you going to sue? What lawyer, what groups are you going to go after? The president? Because everyone's going to push it back uphill. The counties will push the governors will push the president, and that'll work. That's how they've got it. And you're saying, well, no, it'll be a little tougher than masks, but not as much as you might think, because people, again, you dangle those shiny things back in front of them, getting their life back. They will do it, and the media will hype it to where it's be such a great thing. You'll be at these centers where people are getting it, and they will be thrilled. They will get this and be like, yeah, it'd be like getting a new freaking iPhone. They'd be like, yeah, I don't have to wear a mask anymore. I'm free. It's like, wow.
I got the
brilliant.
paperwork to prove it.
So there you go.
Well, now you've led me to two questions, Mark. First, this obviously leads to every movie we've all enjoyed and watched. Elysium with the floating cloud above, with all the healthy people and all the people on the ground that were sick and, dying. And if you haven't seen the movie, go check on it. I mean, but you named the movie with the set aside utopian people who are above the rubble. And that's where we're headed, obviously, with this kind of technology. So we have so many geniuses in this movement that we're all a part of here that are mechanically so adept at, just coming up with crap. So then we'll be the ones you go to get your fake papers, your fake
Well, yeah, and I thought of that
crap
too.
to get through the system.
Yeah, which has been discussed in different Christian movies over the years. I mean, I remember, and I'm still trying to find it. You know, we've had these movies in the Christian circles for years talking about you know, the number of the beast and how to get around it, and what happens if you get rounded up, and blah blah blah. Can you? The only problem with a system like this, how authentic, you know, is the authentic process going to be completely nationalized? In which case, it will be tricky to try to get counterfeit authentication if you're going to go down that road. You know, and what is counterfeit authentication? I'm not really sure. You know, we don't.
You would need a hacker.
Know.
Well,
yeah, you would.
Definitely need a hacker.
October is the deadline for getting the real ID, where all the states have sort of come to get together. So maybe they can work into that real ID, that COVID as well.
Good point. But, you know, I had completely forgotten about the real ID, where,
as had I.
Of course, the real ID, as a matter of fact, is kind of worthless at the moment because, as you know, we can't even fly outside the United States because no one will let us in. But therein lies also, you know, part of the solution, which is one of the things they dangle out there. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, if you ever want to travel outside of the country, and I don't know what they're going to do with domestic travel. We'll see. But outside the country, I guarantee
that's what Real ID is going to be after October. If you don't have your papers, you will not travel state to state. I mean, that's literally what the plan is. That's already coming. So add COVID to it. Yeah, who knows what they've got ready for November, like you say, seems to be the big date.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if November is going to affect either of these things. What I can tell you, and in fact, I was just thinking about this last night, which is they will, either candidate, whoever wins, will back the authentication system for the vaccine. They will, and it will break the hearts of the right if Trump backs it. But, I mean, really, what choice does he have? I mean, he's not going to say, oh, yeah, it's a terrible idea. I mean, he's all about... You know, he's talked that is his platform. It's like, oh, you know, getting people back to work and reopening the country. If reopening the country means you got to get a vaccination, he's absolutely for it. And Biden will, of course, you know, Biden will just go along with it and hopefully, you know, finish a paragraph without stumbling when he announces it. So that's what I see. I mean, and it'll be unfortunate because the majority out there that'll go along with it, again, they will line up around the frickin' block, and, you know, as ignorant as they are, but they will do it. I currently right now I don't have any answers. I love that you guys are saying, oh, you know, might be able to come up with a counterfeit thing. Yeah, maybe, but I'm just letting people know. Like, look, this is what the plan is. This is how it's going to roll out because it's what I would do. You know, I've been accused of, you know, being an agent forever. And, you know, I seem to think like them. I don't know why. But it's what I would do. And it has worked. So far, everything has worked pretty much flawlessly because of peer pressure. It's not that, you know, it's not heavy-handed so far. No National Guard has made anyone wear masks. Most of the people have done it voluntarily because the media just keeps hitting them over and over and over. I mean, CNN has been just relentless. They just, you know, be afraid, mask, you know, the vaccine's out there, everything's, the masks, you need to wear them, we're working on this, and, you know, even though there aren't anybody dying in the streets. Let me throw out one more thing, because I know that we're coming up on the thing, and then I gotta go, which is, for anyone out there, if you're looking for an argument for people, and you may have heard this from me before, which is, Richie from Boston was the guy that came up with it. He goes, find a contact list on your phone. Some people have massive contact lists on their phone. Is anyone on that contact list? Did you have to remove them because they died of the virus? No. Well, wouldn't you have to eventually? Because remember, they said it was a 1% mortality rate when we first started this thing.
Right.
And it's not even a 10%. It's not even a third of a tenth of a percent. And even if you believe those deaths, half of those deaths happen in nursing homes. So where are all the dead people? Where are the dead people, you know, dying in the streets? You know, it is absolutely bait and switch, false advertising, ultra hype, and yet they just keep. But it's been working. because you told people in the beginning to be afraid, and it's just never gone away. So anyway, there you go.
Well, unfortunately, as we were preparing for my mother's passing, like back in May, I had spoken with the funeral home, and I actually asked them, have you guys been like really overrun? I mean, we were worried about a timely getting things dealt with for her, with allegedly it being backed up. Oh no, things are fine. We should have it all dealt with in just a day or so. So if anyone would know, they would know, you know.
Mark, thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know it's late for you. It's
no, thank you, and I'm sorry I rambled.
No,
that's
awesome. You're
awesome.
welcome to ramble another hour, my friend, if you'd like, because I did have a second part to that question, which I guess we'll have to hold on to.
Oh no, save it for another time. Wait, I might be able to do
regulation is becoming
might be able to do this next week, but I still have a show to do tonight.
From the mainstream to YouTube and Google.
Get some rest, Mark.
The information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda.
Appreciate it.
This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/signup and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
Reaching another milestone. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The U.S. likely will reach 3 million confirmed coronavirus cases today. Dr. Anthony Fauci of the White House Coronavirus Task Force.
With various states and cities trying to open up in the sense of getting back to some form of normality, has led to a situation where we've now had record-breaking cases.
Arizona surpassing 100,000 cases, and Florida also seeing a surge. Governor Ron DeSantis says mostly among young people.
The age that has the most cases in the state of Florida is age 21. And again, without comorbidities present, you're looking at practically a 0% fatality rate.
State lawmakers in California delaying their return to work indefinitely after several assembly employees test positive. The White House today will hold a meeting with educators, parents, and students, along with health experts, to discuss reopening schools this fall. Students may go back to class without one of their favorite apps. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo telling Fox's The Ingram Angle over security concerns. The U.S. is considering a ban on the Chinese-based app TikTok. Funeral services will be held in Toledo today for police officer Anthony Dia. He was shot early Saturday morning responding to a call about a drunk in a store parking lot. Toledo's police chief suspending one-man patrols for now for the officer's safety. A Harris County, Texas deputy constable shot near Houston overnight. No word yet on his condition. The alleged shooter reported to be barricaded in an apartment. People lined the streets in Nashville yesterday as the body of a country music Hall of Famer was taken to the morgue.
When the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there. I'm going to show you how it's done."
Charlie Daniels died after suffering a stroke. Dolly Parton tweeting, "The devil went down to Georgia, but Charlie went straight to heaven. He was 83. America is listening to Fox News.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. Here.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up! What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet.
Tell me things, Internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
How dare you?
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio. As my headphones start to go in and out, that's real effing awesome. Anyway, I'll just assume everybody's there because everything else looks good. It's just weird not hearing my own voice. But man, that was a great call from Mark Sargent.
Yeah, it was. The guy he's always on. I swear, what is it, 3 a.m. his time?
Yeah, I think that's right.
How he does.
Indeed.
I think that's right.
Well, we appreciate the heck out of it, and thank you to our amazing line producer, the Alan Holman, in chat, both chats, all the chats. This man is on it. Thank you, Alan. We appreciate it, friend.
Yes, we do.
Did I?
You did, as a matter of fact.
Happened that I'm maybe confused and just astounded and amazed.
Well, I was really kind of hoping that you weren't watching Skype. Because I figured
of course I watched Skype.
Well, you've only got so many screens and so many things to do.
You're right. I was actually in the middle of trying to find a song from Charlie Daniels because I was a huge fan.
Me too.
Not just a Devil Went Down to Georgia fan. I was South's Gonna Rise Again, Uneasy Rider. I'm talking Long Hair Country Boy. Yeah. Deep cuts. So yeah, I was listening to all kinds of stuff yesterday. Definitely sad to hear of his passing. Luckily, I met him. This is going to be the most redneck thing you're going to ever hear me say. I met Charlie Daniels in a Kmart in Shreveport, Louisiana. Yes, sir. So, and unfortunately was not able to go to the concert that night and missed it. And that would have been my chance to actually see all the amazing stuff that him and his band are capable of. If you've never seen them do Orange Blossom Special live on video, you need to go experience it. Again, Devil Went Down to Georgia, great hit, but the man was phenomenally talented and a great talent to be missed.
Legend of the Woolly Swamp.
Dude, that was like pure country metal. Like, we're going to play Woolly Swamp. That's country metal.
That is a good one.
That was like amazing jam. Oh, yeah.
Great storyteller.
When I bought my little brother a violin, I had Charlie Daniels envisioned in my mind. Like, I was like, you're not going to play this like a violin. You're going to jam on this thing like Charlie Daniels does. But he never really. Hey, I'm sure he still got it. There's always, always time.
Always.
Yeah, watching that man shred a bow at the end of Orange Blossom special, nothing like it.
Hey.
For sure.
Well, I figured
in the morning. Go to the next break. If you think about it, we'll go to the next break with Legend of Woolly Swamp, and we'll come back with Orange Blossom Special. Because if we start playing now, we'll just spend the next 30 minutes playing Charlie Daniels and getting kicked off the air with all the copyright strikes.
And we have someone to talk to anyway.
And we got a first person to chat with. So I'm going to shut up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
I'm excited.
Amazing surprise to see Mark Sargent call in. It's always nice to have people call in. So I thought I was going to have a nice little surprise here for Walt and sneak our next guest in with a complete Mark Sargent misdirect. But it didn't work because he was watching Skype. But if you've been a fan of Iron Rail Media, have no fear, you may remember our guest, James, the Full Armor OG, has joined us this morning right here on the Ironworks. James, it's so great to talk to you. It was just a blast spending a little bit of time talking to you last night. So we are thrilled that you could join us this morning. Thanks for waking up early. And hi. Almost. You're still muted.
What's up, Talkie Talk? You better figure it out.
Well, hello. How are you guys?
What's up, my brother?
How you
Good
doing this
to hear
morning?
from you.
Looks like you're having a little bit of issues with that mute button.
Uh-oh. Apparently all the way up north, it's cold and the internet's not working. Alan has to deal with it. He knows.
Well, at least he's not stuck outside on the porch somewhere trying to do it. Do it all bundled up in the cold.
Right. Like the old days.
Hear me now.
There you are.
There he is.
Oh God,
What's up, James?
We're past those days.
Thank goodness for that.
So it has been a long time. I'm hearing a bit of a delay. It's early, but I'm here.
All of those, sir, are correct. Yes, we were having that delay with Mark. All of us kept stepping on him, and he kept having to wait a second to hear what we were saying. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on today because you're not on the phone. You're directly in the studio. Well, in the studio. You're on Skype with us, so it shouldn't be delaying, but definitely I hear the issue that you're dealing with. So, well, man, we miss you. We're glad to have you back. You're not dangling off the porch trying to pick up the internet. So what's going on, my friend? How are you these days?
I can hear you a little bit there, James.
Well, I am good. First off, I want to say condolences to you.
Thank you.
I heard about May, and just want to wish you and Shelley the best. And yeah, it's just really great to be here.
Well, it's an honor to have you. I was just thrilled when I saw your text come through. Sorry it took me so long to get back, but I'm really thrilled that you were able to wake up and join us this morning. So, yeah, it's been a couple years since you've hung out with us. Catch everybody up. What have you been up to? Wow, that's one hell of a delay.
So I'm just getting used to this delay because it seems about maybe 5 seconds, but yeah, it's been good. I'm a little nervous, but that'll pass within 30 seconds. It's the first time I've been on air, probably for, what do you say, Joss, about 3 years?
Yeah, that sounds about
At
right.
least.
And James, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link. So if you just drop out of the call and then hit the link and it'll send you right back in.
I was going to suggest that as well. So we'll cover for you for a second so we can eliminate that delay because it is extreme. Yep. There's definitely something going on. Well, for those of you who may be new to our show here on TFR in the last 3 years, you may never have even heard.
I was really happy to hear you're going to queue up Charlie.
I plan on it. I definitely plan on it, man. For sure, for sure. But definitely, if you've only hung out with us since we've been on TFR, you may not even know James's history with us. He was one of the founding members. He was there on Twitter in the early days of it all with all of us trying to figure our way through this whole thing. Just figure it out, first of all. And then once we thought we had a tiny, tiny little grasp on some of it, let's figure out a way to tell other people about it, because talking to our friends and family and neighbors just wasn't working out. So we decided we'd start talking to you guys. And like I said, James was integral to that whole thing. In fact, one of our shows in the early days that I sat and did a lot of editing on and tried to make it look polished and great was one of the ones James had put together on symbols and hidden things in the media and in the different realms of basically just mass media that's forced on us, all the stuff that's in our face. It's one of the great shows. I'm not even sure if it's on this channel, if it's on our Have No Sphere podcast channel, or is it on our Iron Realm Media podcast. I don't know. It's here somewhere. It's one of the first ones, though. It's there. It's like, what, 6 hours? It was just like one of those long hauls. Great show.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it, too. Them long
I will dig up a link for that and find it for you guys so you don't have to sift through the 5 years of stuff here trying to find it. But James also had a huge video on his own, the Full Armor OG channel that blew up hugely over there. Like, I haven't checked in forever, so I don't know where it is now, but I know it was hugely big back in the day.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was. God,
Did it hit?
I don't remember. I want to say 1 million, but I'm like, is that too high, or was it 100,000? I'm like, 100,000 seems way too low.
That sounds too low. I know. Let's go look. Why don't we stop talking about it and go look at it?
And
We
he
can
should
do
be
that.
popping back in here any minute now, and I bet you he'll be
That's
able to
fine.
tell us.
Well, while we're doing that, I'm going to find it because I want to know myself. Because, like I said, it was huge. And I'm talking to you guys while I do it live.
I think I got to speak with James just one time.
Cool.
He was on with us.
Really?
Maybe it was a Wednesday show. Yeah.
Probably hanging out with us. Yeah.
It was like right when you guys had asked me to join. And it was a while since you had talked to him then, even.
You know, that
It
does
has
sound
been
maybe
way
vaguely familiar.
too long. Way too long.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I am on his
'Cause I
channel.
remember him
Wow,
saying
this dude's got some
something.
videos. Hey, he's back.
Hey.
Welcome back, sir. Is it better? Is the delay a bit better for you? It would seem not.
It doesn't sound like it. I wonder if he may just have an outdated Skype version, or he's muted, or was he muted before?
It could be
I don't know.
all of the above. It could be all of the above, unfortunately. All right, so I'm on his page trying to find it. Where is it? Was it the best interview? Which one?
It was the voted best flat Earth video.
Okay, 390,000 views at this point. So apparently it was the 100,000 that it had hit when we were all pumped up. Because that was early on, that was like early on.
Right.
We didn't even have
4
20
years
people
ago,
hanging
that
out.
was a big
That was when
deal.
the diehards, the early diehards that still hang with us were there. So, yeah.
And that's when they really started kind of cracking down on
Yep.
a lot of flat Earth videos. And
Yep.
once
Thanks, James.
yeah, that's really no joke. I bet you there's a lot of channels like the Full Armor OG that had videos like that, and it was really fucking with their algorithms and making them pay people that they weren't expecting to have to pay. So they had to probably.
Can you guys hear me now?
Ah, there you go.
There he is.
And how's the delay?
It seems like it's non-existent.
That's
Fixed it.
awesome. Now we can talk to you.
Yeah, I remember that video. It was called Voted Best Flat Earth Proof
Right
2017.
now, I've lost it. I've scrolled too far because I was looking
And
at the channel.
Before it got taken down, it hit 2.9 million views.
Well, see, it was 1 million then. Okay.
2.9. That was a fun one. That paid for a few months.
Get him,
Fun
James.
how that worked. I would love to meet Zach. Is he? I know there's another person here. Is it Zach?
Yeah, James, what's up, man? I
Hey,
think we've
brother.
spoken like one time before we hung out. Just once. Way back. You came and jumped in on a Wednesday.
Okay, that would be probably our pre-show call.
Yeah, it was a pre-show. Yeah.
Nice.
So we've met, but it was briefly. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan. I miss you.
Aw, that's really good to hear. I hear you're very skilled in a lot of ways. Alchemy, mechanics, engineering, all the things that I am not skilled in.
Yeah, I'm a tinkerer. I like getting my hands dirty and playing with stuff.
I heard about your walkabout. That sounds so freeing, to be honest. It just sounds liberating. What was that like?
It is. I'm still on it. Yeah, I've been kind of settled for a year now in a spot, but it's not home. for sure.
International?
And I'll be leaving. No, I'm in Denver right now.
Okay.
But here in a couple of weeks, I'll be heading out to the Carolinas, and I'll be building gardens for a few different families out there. I'm really excited to get back into the dirt.
Wow, that is super noble, and that sounds amazing.
It's been a blessing. It really has. It was really scary taking that first step, but after it's all said and done, and to this point right now, I'm so blessed. It's just been a beautiful experience. There's been some scary stuff and rough times, and you always have that stuff. But overall, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love my life.
Such a nice, that's such a good feel-good story, man. I can only imagine what some of the ups and downs must have been, and the fear of taking that first step. Wow.
Oh yeah, I bawled. Just hugging my mom and not knowing if, that might be the last time I hug my mom. It was a weird, yeah, but it's been great. I love it.
Nice.
So how's up north? How's the summer been?
It's good. I have had many ups and downs myself. When I left the show, I was at a hole that's never actually been filled. We started out as a family, and I have often thought of you guys, often snuck in little listens to your show. And I don't know if you were around at the time, but I was in a huge battle for cancer when I met the boys, the original four. And late last year, they found a big tumor the size of a large marble in my neck. So I had a very rough summer, and it turned out all right. But it's just, there's always something in life. We all deal with our own things, whether it's family, in-laws, whether it's work, whether it's marriage. We always seem to have the right challenges at the right time. It made me stronger. It renewed my faith in the Lord. And I've got some big news. I've been working for a very great company that has brand new technology for fighting fires and floods. It's very exciting, the technology. And but bigger news, and Walt, you're going to be very excited, but my beautiful fiance and I are expecting our first child.
Oh my God, dude, that is amazing. Congratulations. Hug her big time for us. For sure.
Yeah, this is a miracle. We were told after cancer and chemo and everything that there was a 99% chance that I was sterile and would never have a child. And that was a big thing in itself. The goal in life is to have a family, do good, and hopefully at the end of your life, you've served humanity, made a difference, lifted people up. So that was a big blow for us. And, the Lord works with the 1%. He does the miracles, and icing on the cake, the baby's due on my birthday. You can't write this. You can't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy, man. That's so great.
Yeah, it's going to be a Libra, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, you'll have your hands full, but you deserve it.
Yeah, that's the punishment, right?
I was going to say, what goes around comes around, Trent.
Yeah.
Well, man, that's exciting. For damn sure you've had a lot going on.
Yeah, and it's a son, and he's healthy, and his name is going to be Connor James Robert. And I'll just leave the last name out, but Connor James. So we are thrilled. Nice. We're nervous. We're going through all the first-time parent stuffs, like, are we going to make it? Are we going to be good enough? How are we going to survive? And, as you go through it, you get more used to it. And we just look at all the things we've been through in our life and all the adventures, all the highs, all the lows. And we just know one thing, that we are going to love this child with all of our hearts and souls, and we are going to do our very best to raise him And he's definitely going to be into conspiracies or realities. That's what I like to call it.
There you go.
But so, yeah, no, Walt,
It's awesome.
tell me a bit about how things have gone for you.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Go ahead.
Nope, that was it.
For you.
Just your drop.
No, not me, okay?
Not for me, okay?
You know, I got to tell you a funny story about this, actually, before I ask you what I want to know, Walt. So Josh and I had a pre-call today, and somehow it came up that we were talking about somebody we both know comes in and out, and somebody I used to get along with really well. And so I said, wow, that's too bad, because the last show I was on, he was on that show too. And he didn't come back for a while after that. And Josh started hitting the clip, and I didn't clue in. I'm like, do you remember that one show where I was like, for you? And he already had it queued up, and it just brought back all these memories. That was one of our most...
You have been immortalized indefinitely, for sure. Yeah, dude, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
we love it.
That's played every single show. Every single show. That is definitely.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah.
That's heartwarming. Any contact with the... have you ever had him on the show again?
Not since then. We talked about it on a pre-show that we could probably invite him back, and his ego would have forgotten all about us.
Well, you let me know the date, and maybe we can make some more sound
That would
bites.
be the best reunion show ever. Oh, my God. Hey, Santos, this is your life. Do you remember this voice?
Oh, gosh.
Not for me, okay?
Oh, that would be so amazing. That would have to be full video. That would be so great. Oh, that would be great.
There's something to look forward to. But tell me how you've been, Walt.
Well, I mean, dude, as
missed
you know,
you a lot.
It has been quite the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
So, people have kind of known just over the time with all that has happened that I dealt with more than anything else was Mom. I mean, getting the diagnosis of cancer and knowing that no matter what I sent, no matter what I said, no matter what I showed, no matter how many guests or friends that I know who have healed or healed people, it wouldn't matter. That the years of indoctrination that she went through, being respiratory, my sister being a respiratory therapist, that watching all of my family, no matter what they had been shown and seen, going straight to the hospital, straight to the doctor, taking a handful of whatever they gave them, and nobody surviving it. No, for sure. Let's not try anything different this time. So for that, that's pretty much what I had dealt with leading up to the last 3 months. Well, not the last 3 months now, but March, April, and May, which was rough. But man, the gift of watching and experiencing someone passing and it being filled with the love and the joy that she showed through it all, in spite of the horrific health situation she was in. It was amazing. It truly was one of the most beautiful things I've ever had. And even yesterday, as I got frustrated with the unending frustration trying to get something done in this COVIDiot world, either because they're in masks and you can't understand them, they can't hear what you're ordering. Apparently everybody that was skilled in any kind of industry of food is now sitting home collecting unemployment, and they've hired just anybody off the street. You can't. We gave up, And so yesterday I was asked to go pick up something and let my frustration get the best of me. And I remembered that smile through all the pain, and was like, there's no point in letting this silliness get me upset. By the time I got to the window, I was joking and cutting up with them. So it just takes a little change of heart of looking at things from a different perspective. And if there's anything these last little months have shown me, that nothing is that serious at all. So, and man, as you have shown us right here with what you struggled with, and now the gift of the son that is coming your way. So, yeah.
So where you're at now, is masks, are they mandatory, or are you in one of those?
In parts of Louisiana are, from what I understand, in Baton Rouge or New Orleans, any of the big cities like that, it's supposedly mandatory. Now, that being said, there's, businesses I've attempted to go to. I'm trying to think, what was the first one that really pissed? Oh, Guitar Center, to pick up some strings. And I got to the door. You can't come in with a mask. I'm like, okay, I need strings. Can I order them and you bring them to me or whatever? And all that. And he's like, yeah, you can. So I got to the little thing site and tried to do all that. And it was way too complicated. I said, if I'm going to order them, I'll just order a ton and have them sent to my house. And I won't be back to your store. So it's, Anyway, yeah, that kind of thing does happen, but it's not anything that's called, other than the food crap that we've dealt with, truly. Oh, wow, I think we're sneaking up on a break.
That is break music.
I hear it. Well, I'll shut up.
So we got
talk more about that with James Armour, full Armor OG. Damn it, I can't talk right now. I'm just excited you're here, buddy. We'll be back on the Ironworks.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Ram, retired. In early 2012, I was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that my physician was telling me were incurable. I knew there had to be a better way, and I learned how I could reverse every one of my ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, I was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, AFib, and many more. And I've lost over 70 pounds and kept it off. Now I'm hosting a radio program that's dedicated to helping my listeners do the same. If you're tired, sick of being sick and tired, if you're sick of being used as an ATM by your doctor, then you'll want to tune into the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
No hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
And we are back on Ironworks.
I thought we were going to have Charlie, so I didn't want to interrupt him.
I am sorry, my computer has completely broken. When I hit play, nothing's happening, so I apologize.
No worries.
What I'm trying to do.
But if you ever go back in the woody swamp way, you better not go at night. There's things out there in the field of them woods make a strong man out to ride. Things that crawl and things that fly and things creep around on the ground. And they say the ghost of Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. The old man lived in the woody swamp way back in Booker Woods. He never did do a lot of harm in the world, but he never did do no good. People didn't think too much of him. They all thought he acted funny. The old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money. He stuck it all down in the mason jars and he'd bury it all around. And on certain nights, if the moon was right, he'd dig it up out of the ground. He'd pour it all out on the floor of his shack and run his fingers through it. Yeah, Lucius Clay was a greedy old man, and that's all there was to it. But I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. The cable boys was white trash who lived over on Carver's Creek. They were mean as a snake and sneaky as a cat and belligerent when they speak. One night the oldest brother said, "Y'all meet me in the woody swamp later. We'll take over Lucius's money and we'll feed him to the alligators." They found the old man out in the back with a shovel in his hand, 13 rusty mason jars that just dug up out of the sand. And they all went crazy and they beat the old man and they picked him up off the ground. Threw him in the swamp and stood there and laughed as the black water sucked him down. Then they turned around and went back to the shack, picked up the money and ran. They hadn't gone nowhere when they realized they were running in quicksand. And they struggled and they screamed, but they couldn't get away just before they went under. They could hear that old man laughing in a voice as loud as thunder. He said 50 years ago, and you can go by there yet. There's a spot in the yard in the back of that shack where the ground is always wet. And on certain nights, when the moon was right down by that dark wood path, you can hear three young men screaming. You can hear one old man back. You ever go back in the woody swamp where you better not go at night? There's things out there in the middle of them woods that make a strong man down to ride. Things that crawl and things that fly and things that creep around on the ground. And they say the road of the Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. 'Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. Some things in this world you just can't explain.
The new house is amazing.
Oh, crap. Sorry. I was, trying to get ready for work. And I knew I'd be cutting it close, and I was coming up. I could hear talking. I'm like, I shouldn't hear talking. So as I'm rushing into the studio, I'm trying to debate, what do I press? What am I going to press? I'm like, crap. Well, I know it's Woolly Swamp, so I just hit the space bar, pressed play on YouTube, and let it go. Hope the timing wasn't too terribly off.
It was all right. It was bad. It was bad. I'll be honest. I thought I had it queued up, and I did have it queued up. But the problem is, I also had Orange Blossom Special. I have our live chat. I have Vault. I had Opeth Windowpane. Shout out. Thank you for the heads up. Open to listen to later. So I had way too much open. That is my apologies to everybody.
At least Geico makes bundling
for
our
the
home and
dead
car
air.
insurance.
And then, of course, I had hidden my own mute button from myself in all my trying to close and get things live. So I had it was bad. Our apologies. So James, save the day. What's up, brother?
Well, I was just going to say it wouldn't be an old-time show without that technical difficulty.
No doubt,
would
sir.
it?
You brought it back. You brought it back to the full old school.
Yeah, damn it,
I
James.
also dropped a link to that show I was talking about. In fact, I was wrong. It wasn't one of our 6-hour shows. It was actually one that it started out probably 6 hours, but we had, like I said, we kind of did some editing to it and included a lot of the things we were talking about. And it was early when we had lots of big plans. That was going to be a weekly thing, edited shows. But when you do 6 hours every week, it got to be a little much to edit. As you see when you go back through it.
And then we used to do the Flat Earth Friday, and that after show would just get wild. It would be like 8-hour days sometimes.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, though.
Nope, it was amazing. We still pull one of those every now and again when the right person shows up over there on our Have No Sphere. We'll do a good 6-7 hour one sometimes. James True can pull that out of us.
Nice.
So 777's pulled a couple of 4-hour shows out of us.
Yeah, I think his first one was 5.
Right, there you go. So yeah, it's still, as always, once it starts flowing and the conversation's good and the concepts fly, it's hard to stop. So, and as you know, those Wednesday shows that we don't air, some are the Wednesday pre-shows that we don't air, sometimes are even better.
Absolutely. I just gotta say, man, it is quite. I was saying this to Josh earlier. It is quite an achievement that you guys are still going, still together, still a family. I mean, so right now, I'm back on Twitter. I am into QAnon. It was kind of like very exciting for me at the beginning, kind of, digging everywhere, learning all about it. And I was saying, I'm in some groups and, there's a pretty good, but pretty huge community, but it is rare to have people that stick around. So massive props to you and Josh for keeping this going, for all the people that have come in and out. I mean, it's quite something. It's very rare. So congratulations on all of the success you've had for your work on the Ironworks and your Friday night shows. Great job, guys.
Well, thanks.
Well, super thanks, man. And as I said earlier, if it hadn't been for you being there in the beginning, dude, none of this would have ever come to fruition, because you were definitely one of the early seeds that helped this thing grow. Good Lord, you were there in the trenches fighting the trolls with the best of us back in the day. We thought that was the thing to do on Twitter.
Yeah. Young and naive we were.
I dive back in every now and again, and unfortunately, it seems every time I do, I drag a few people in with me. Alan's been swinging left and right at some trolls there on Twitter with me. Shout out to Alan for sure, and Brian also do a few punches there. Oh yeah, they're still around. They don't.
I remember you always tangling with the bikinis. Those were big trolls back in the day.
Good Lord. Yeah, they're still around. They're still.
Jeez.
I guess I have most of them muted, so I don't know. There's only so much I can take when I get in. I do want to see good things every now and again on my feed. So, but yeah, definitely miss seeing you going through there too, friend. So hopefully you get back in the swing a little bit. I know you're about to have your hands full, but you won't have much time for social anything.
Well, it'll be my escape.
Up to your elbows.
Yeah. So tell me, who is Iron Realm Media now?
Well, it's always the extended family, as you know. But as of the moment, Zach here is right here with us every time we're doing Ironworks. In fact, he covered my ass hugely while I was in Oregon dealing with Mom. So I've thanked him on that one overly, just gracious for that. And then we have a recent member that you may not know is officially a member of the team. Speaking of Zach, who is now currently, as he said, about a year now hanging out with the Nodells. Cammie Nodell, Bob's wife, is like, man, she's our resident magnetism super nerd. I thought we geeked out when we would get into all the science stuff. She's got me by a mile and has come up with this map idea that is breaking everybody's brain, that we're trying to figure out a way to present it in a 3D map that's just going to, I think, kind of solve a lot of the crap that we're trying to figure out.
That sounds exciting, actually.
As always, Sir John Savage, even though he may not be here with us in this early hour, because, it's still early there at 10 a.m. for him across the pond there. But he's still there around. Adam's still around, even though he's had his hands quite full being a frontline COVID fighter there in the aisle. It's definitely he's had a lot going on and hasn't been here for a few weeks, and we miss him a lot for damn sure.
Yeah. Too bad he wasn't here today. I miss his accent. I miss John's accent.
Right. And then Rob pops in and out in chat quite often when we're live. And unfortunately, I was in Oregon, and we had 6 guests? No, we had a bunch. We had a bunch of people on the show. When he was able, he dropped us a line saying he could pop in on the show, and both of us missed it. Josh and I both missed the note till after the show was over. So we missed having him back on the show when he could, because due to his schedule shifting, even Saturdays for him now, because he still time travels over there across the plane. So even Saturdays are difficult for him to hang with us now. So
I had the
been a minute since Rob's been around.
I had a great pleasure of catching up with Rob about a month ago. We had quite a nice chat, good long chat, caught up. Definitely surprised, and I said it earlier, we all have our things, and they're usually specifically for us. And I know he's going through some stuff, so I was praying for him. Always loved what Rob brought to the table. He's one of a kind, that guy.
Well, that's always been the strong suit, I've thought anyway, of the extended Iron Realm family here, is that everybody brings an integral piece to this puzzle and a talent that we need. And the human heart is the most important part. I mean, dude, that's what's always been the key to all of this, is the people and the heart and the humanity that we find. And I mean, that's why Zach's here. That's why Cammie's here. They were immediately family. When Zach showed up over here at TFR with us and came on as a guest the first time, we knew a brother had been met, and that's kind of how it's been with Cammie, a sister for sure, without a doubt. Like I said, she is just amazing with she breaks my brain almost every show, if not every show. So
she's a mainstay on the Friday show, is it?
Oh yeah, she's okay. Well, they've all been they've been a little less than present due to the fact that they're about to go on their walkabout here in a little while with Zach. Zach's taking them in tow and heading out to Karen B land. Shout out to Karen B there in chat. So
Karen B, the Karen B. I remember Karen.
My Squatch sis. Yeah, they're heading out to her part of the world.
She's the first park I'm going to be building.
There you go.
When I head back up there. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. I can't wait to share it with you. I can see it.
I just have a question about what's going in the garden. If you know me, that's usually my first question.
Well, yeah.
She's got a lot of land.
Lots of stuff.
No.
Lots of
Yeah, it's a magical, beautiful place, though, out there in those Carolina mountains.
Right.
Tennessee mountains, Georgia, just that whole area.
Yeah, I remember driving through kind of like the Kentucky Blue Hills, right? Or no?
Yeah.
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 Just really gorgeous.
Yeah,
I remember the storms out there were just once in a lifetime. The thunderstorms were phenomenal when I was driving through.
So is that a thing there with you guys up north? I haven't asked Alan that, and I should have asked you that years ago when I experienced it. So like in Oregon, there's rarely lightning. Literally lightning will make the news there. That's how rarely it happens. And you would think with mountains, it would be something very common that would be attracted to the upper atmospheric whatever, but atmoplanic. Anyway, But yeah, is that something in Canada? Is that a rare thing to see those big rumbling thunderstorms that bring the huge shaking earth thunder and lightning and things?
Not at all. In fact, we've always had it. I don't know whether it's because a lot of the places in central Alberta and where I am are low lying, so it's kind of like a bowl. And I mean, even just tonight, I seen probably 25 minutes straight flashes with huge thunder, huge lightning. It was just incredible.
That reminds me, and I'm glad you said that. So yeah, obviously it's an Oregon thing, and I got to thinking after I said it, maybe it is the mountains that are sucking all the electromagnetism to themselves, because I actually felt that going up and down them in the car. You could feel the hair in your arms rising up in the back of your neck as you went through different layers of the static electricity that the mountain had accumulated. But when you're saying these flashes of lightning you're seeing in the sky, is it like you could see there's no strikes happening and it's not exactly heat lightning like you classically think of what I call heat lightning, where it's just kind of glowing the clouds in little places and you can see it travel a little bit across the clouds? What I keep seeing, especially the other night during the lunar eclipse that happened during Monday night, I believe it was, Sunday night, Monday night, Sunday night. Anyway, I thought, or hell, that may have been Saturday night, because I thought it was fireworks at first until I realized that it was not at all what I was seeing. It was like the whole sky was just flashing, just like a static charge was happening in the sky constantly.
That's exactly what I saw tonight.
It
looked like a strobe light.
Right, like a strobe light. I
Like a
thought, is the
strobe
moon
light.
up in the clouds? Is that what's happening? The moon and the clouds are making that happening? Because it was no fireworks, and it wouldn't stop. It just kept
I
happening.
only saw one or two bolts, but it was just strobing for 20 minutes.
Forever, like for a long time. That's why I knew
yeah.
fireworks, because it didn't quit. It just kept going. It's like there's no fireworks that do that for that long. There's something happening in the sky over there, and it was like not over there. It was just where I was. You could see it in the distance over where the darkness was, because we were leaving the big city. And yeah, it was really strange, really bizarre. And I forgot I was going to mention it. Yeah, that it coincided with, I didn't even know there was a lunar eclipse happening. I noticed the moon looking strange at about 10 p.m. my time. And about midnight, I started looking for stuff for the show here and found that, yeah, there was actually a lunar eclipse happening during the time I was seeing this weird static electricity, a lightning thing that was really unusual. Because
very interesting.
I'll stop, pull over the side of the road to watch lightning. I love lightning. So I'm pretty.
What are your thoughts on the new lightning? Have you seen what's happening in the last, I'd say, month in, say, New York and DC, where it almost looks like, remember that scene in Independence Day where the girl's on the roof with the sign and that beam comes down?
Oh, you mean like the sprite lightning that, like you say, looks like a big round thing coming down? Yeah, like sprites is what I've heard them called.
More
it's
like
a bolt that's all condensed into.
No, more like it's more like a wide band. So imagine like a straight line on both sides and about, I don't know,
like sheet lightning or curtain lightning, almost, think of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that right, James? Almost like a solid sheet of lightning.
Well, sort of. It's more like almost a tractor beam. So there's no lightning. It's just almost like a long line that's very straight. I'll have to find the picture for you and send it to you guys. It's definitely a topic that's intriguing.
I wonder if that's Steve. That might be Steve.
I saw a video, and this guy was catching lightning strikes. It was a super high speed, super slow motion, like thousands of frames per second or whatever, those really high end ones.
Wait.
And
what?
it looked like, lightning has to strike about 7 times in the same place in order for you to see it, because it happens so fast. It has to be a reoccurring connection back and forth. Do, at least 6 times for the human eye to even perceive it.
Wow. Right. That's the first I've heard that.
So what if there's lightning happening all over the place, but just one strike at a time? Always.
That's probably the matrix we live in, that we exist in. That's probably the electromagnetic spectrum. That's the ether. That's the plasma tubes. That's the whatever you want to call it.
yeah, it blew my mind, and I still can't. There was only one video I ever saw on it, so it's kind of hard to, until I do it myself, I'm not going to go, spouting about it too much. But yeah, it
Anyway,
was so
I've apparently confused you, James, and chat as well. Steve, the lights that were happening there in Canada that were not technically the Northern Lights.
Yeah, the new Northern Light classification.
And that was the
I made
name.
a video.
Oh,
I made a video on that. It was pretty funny.
So yeah, that's it. I probably do back in the day, dude. You're like us. You've got so much content on your channel. It's hard to keep up.
Oh, it was a funny one. It was about, I think it was when Rest in Peace Stephen Hawking's and Meet Steve. That's what the one was. It was, y'all have to play it again. You'll get a good kick out of it.
Well, lots of people don't know this. Hawking actually I was just telling him how you downloaded yourself into the computer so that we could have you on the show just anytime we wanted. That's how all these elite upper class dudes do it. They don't have to worry about death. They just download themselves into the big AI, and it's all entertainment for us from that point on, right? Tell him, Stephen. He explains it better than I do any time. Right. That's what I said. Okay. Oh, dude. We only have a few minutes left. Thank you, Stephen.
That's the problem with Stephen Hawking is once you get him going, there's just no stopping him. Give him an inch and he'll take a mile.
He'll take 8 inches per mile squared even. All right, that's enough of that. We got to get a better. Anyway. There, that's actually more apropos. Wow, it's really almost over. We only have 4 minutes left. All right, James. So
You still have the soundboard, don't you, Josh?
Oh, you
That
better
was
believe
epic.
it. Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Well, this hour just flew by. I mean, unbelievable that
Well,
it's
that's what I'm
already
saying. I hope
time.
this is just the first of many because we have to catch up.
I would love it. I know Josh is heading to work very shortly.
Yes, he is.
But it's too bad we couldn't blind surprise you. We had a very good surprise, but you don't miss anything, I remember. Me and you.
Trust me, I miss a
do
lot.
not miss. I should have changed the name and the title before I got in, but it was a pleasure. I'm grateful. I'm so happy that we got to reconnect, and I do hope we get to spend more time together, whether it's on a show or in a hangout with the three of you guys.
Absolutely.
I'd like to get Zach, to know Zach more as well.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, this has been awesome, James. It's good to finally, have a chat. Last time you were catching up with everybody else, we didn't even get, I don't think, 5 words between each other, But yeah, you're an awesome guy, and I hope we see you a lot more, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I was going through a rough time, so you probably didn't get the best of me, but we grow, we move forward, and we're here again today. You can't just, you can't forget about a brotherhood. You never can. Like I said, it never leaves you. You always think about your brothers and your comrades and the camaraderie. And like I was saying to Josh, some of the best times ever were just when we weren't even doing a show, just hanging out, doing our little talks.
Well, we could stay up all night long hanging out, watching movies, just chilling out on Hangouts. And really, it was those interactions that so shaped what we do here, what we do on Friday nights on Have No Sphere. Basically, it's sort of who we are. That family, F-E-M-I-L-Y, family that we've created. It's all based on the way this show started. The magic that happened, getting all the people together and just the way it sort of coagulated together. It's really been the lifeblood of who we are. That and, of course, the technical difficulties. But James is definitely a big part of who we are and why we are the way we are.
Yeah. It was great actually advancing through it all. Like we learned from scratch. I remember downloading our very first, what was that program you
Oh, Lord.
Our old
But I
tech
do know
guy.
this.
Oh, that's it. That's
We're
the
about
show.
to have to go. James, thank you again. Right here.